Welcome to lesson number 8, example number 1. And it gives us a column is subjected to a dead load of 200 kips. So I'm just going to start from scratch here. DL 200 kips. It says a live load of 150 kips. The allowable bearing pressure is what, 3,500 PSF. Alright, remember PSF, pounds per square foot. So that would be, let's choose 3.5 KSF. And then it asks us what size footing should be used, assuming that the footing weighs 20 kips. And then let's say we'll just add this to the dead load of 20 kips. So we are looking at a column. Does this say a square footing? I don't remember. What size footing should be used, assuming... I'm assuming it's a square footing. Yeah. Okay, let's assume it is. So we're looking at an issue like this. And it's asking, what are these dimensions? And typically when you're taking... So what are these? And we're going to say that this is S. And S equals S. We're going to say it's a square footing. Assume that. When you're, and this allowable, let's assume also this has any factors of safety already built into it. So this is already factored. It has whatever factors of safety that you want to put in that soil. That's what you're going to get out of the soil, and you are quite confident of it. Anyways, let's move on. Let's go ahead and figure out what our total load is. So I'll call it P total. Well, let's go ahead and, yeah, it'll be P total. Let's not make this over complicated. So 200 kips plus 20 kips plus 150 kips equals, let me get up my calculator, although I don't need it, what, 350, 370, 370 kips. And then what all we have to do is divide this, or let's remember it's P over A. So you want to say kind of the bearing pressure, which we could look at it, denote it a few different ways. And let me think, what do I want to do? It's the same thing as, you could call it axial pressure, I guess. Let's do that. And you could debate this, but I'm trying to simplify it in your guys' head to help you out. And we always know that this is correct, that the pressure, the point load divided by the area, and once again this takes in a lot of assumptions that I really don't want to get into, so I won't quite yet. I will do some videos on it, but generally you have a point load coming down, and it's going to be divided over this area right here. This area. You're assuming that this column is distributed equally distributed over that bearing area. So that's what the assumption is, and we're okay with that assumption. It's a good assumption, at least in this situation. You could argue it a million times. At what point is that not true? But anyways, so there we are. We have our P. We need to find our A, and our allowable, which we'll call FA. We'll change this to FA, and that will give us A min to get FA. I hope that makes sense. And we'll say that it equals, let's do this in my colon, and over here we'll do it, 3.5 kips per square foot equals P, which we know P is 370 kips over what area. And to get that, we simply do 370 divided by 3.5, and we get A, and that's the min area that you'll need, is 105.7 inches squared, since it's, oh no, that's wrong, foot squared, since we have kips per square foot. And then you have to, I guess we could take since area equals side squared, or side times side, right? Because we have one side times two sides equals a square. We could just take the square root of each. So we'll take the square root of that. So the side equals the square root of the area. I hope that makes sense. Let's say A min and S min, so the minimum, and then we'll just round up. So the square root equals square root of 105.7. Sorry, my handwriting's not the cleanest right now. I'll go ahead and put my answer in yellow. 105.7 to the 0.5 is equals 10.28 foot. And we'll round up to, say, 10 foot. You could say 4 inches would be minimum. Let's see what they did in on the example. And they said use 10 by 10 foot 6 times 10 foot 6, which sure, that's fine. It kind of depends what application you're doing. 10 foot 6 is fine. Might give you a little bit extra of so it'll be less allowable. It'll be less bearing pressure. So it'll be, let's say it'll be, well, let's just figure it out real quick actually. So our actual is going to be 10.5 times 10.5, right? So we'll do that. 10.5 times 10.5 foot gives you a square area of 110.25, and we're going to divide that 370 divided by 110.25. And it's 3.36. So actually it's 3,356 KSF is actual, given 10 foot 6 inch sides. Alright, so as you can see, our actual is less than our allowable, so we're good to go. I will see you on example 2.